Welcome, everybody, to Portishead Church of England's Thought for the Day, Thought for the Week. And you'll see that we're in a slightly unusual situation this week. In fact, there are two faces in front of you. So I'm Simon from one of the readers in Portishead. And then this is Verity, who will be talking mainly about her new role as a Flourish chaplain. And so obviously it's great to see you, Verity, and many of you will know who Verity is. And if you could start by explaining this term flourish chaplain, that would be brilliant.
Yes, so the Flourish Chaplain is a new appointment, and it's part of the Flourish Network, which is it's a national strategic what's the word? Strategy. It's a strategy from the Church of England nationally, and they decided to set up chaplaincies across the country, working with schools and colleges and places of just lots of different places of education to try and strengthen networks between churches, schools, and the local communities. And so the Flourish Chaplain, it's not your conventional counsellor role. It's very much seeking to deepen networks between the church, the school, and the community. So that's the overview of it. And we're working. It's unusual here in that I'm going to be working not only in Gordano Valley Church, but also in Chew Valley School for 2 days a week each. So it's part of the Lighthouse School Partnership, partnering with Diocese of Bath and Wells.
Fantastic. And you had the interview just a few days ago. So congratulations. It's it's lovely that that you are going to fulfill this role. So what does chaplaincy mean to you?
I think the major thing about chaplaincy, it's about being with people. It's about being alongside them, wherever that is. Chaplaincies happen in a massive range of contexts. They happen in law courts, they happen in homeless hostels, they happen in missions of seafarers, they happen in schools, and they happen in all over the place. And every chaplaincy is different, and it's very much it forms between the context and the chaplain. And that's the really wonderful thing, is that I went to the interview and I said, look, I'm like this, I can offer you a chaplaincy like this, but I'm not that. And they said, okay, we'll take it. So chaplaincy to me is will be about being with the kids, about being with the staff, about being with the church, about being with the community, and like I say, trying to build those bridges deeper. It's a Flourish chaplain. It's not an evangelistic role. It's to fulfill the part of the gospel where Jesus says, I've come that you may have life, and life in all its fullness. And so as Christians, we want to help everybody flourish and to have that life in all its fullness. And where I have seen that happening in so many times and so many places is being in the creative sphere, which is my background, in the arts and crafts department, in making things alongside each other. And also when I do with the outdoor ed stuff, I'm very involved with the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme. And so getting kids out of the classroom, out onto the hills, getting them to explore their potential in different ways, and they flourish. Kids who are always in trouble at school can be brilliant leaders out on the hills. So that was my pitch, and that's the kind of chaplaincy I'm going to be hopefully able to do. And I'm very excited about it.
Absolutely. And you're going to be working in two secondary schools. Obviously, yep. Gordano's one. What's the other one?
So the other one is Chew Valley School, which is just over the hills, and it's a very different school. It's more of a gathered community, if you like. Gordano is the school for Portishead, and all our kids from all the primaries come here. So it's got a distinctive character. Chew Valley has got lots of different primaries feed into it, and it's nearly all rural, although it does also draw from some of South Bristol. Children come out to it, so it's got a higher range than the socioeconomic range as well. Interestingly, you've got some really quite well-off kids, but you also got a very high proportion of PP, which is pupil premium children, go there, an unusually high proportion. So you've got some challenges there, and I don't know that school nearly as well. But what is wonderful, and it feels like a gift, is that Fran Smetam, who is a good friend and used to be the children and youth worker with us here in Portishead, is the curate over there. So that's lovely. And so I'm looking forward to working with her and Ian, her incumbent, and the other churches, and working out where I can help and where I can serve them there. Yeah, so it'll be a whole different experience.
Yeah, fantastic. And so I think you've already said something about what excites you about the role, but if there was one particular project which you are keen to get off the ground, which you think would really sum up what chaplaincy meant for you, can you say that?
I have too many ideas. This is always my problem. Oh, one of my problems. Um, so I have 54 children on the waiting list for my pottery club that I've been running as the art technician in Gordeno. I would love to do more, be able to offer more extracurricular activities, and maybe more collaborative ones, and maybe ones so we work together on a project, a bit like the giant fish that we all made with the eco clubs in St. Peter's for the summer show last year, for those of you who know that. So projects where they can be a bit of something that adds together, that then they can see makes a difference, and they feel part of a team is really engaging. I'm going to give you three different. So that's my kind of my dream, that I don't know what that would look like yet. I've already started working with a nurture hub at Gordeno, and that's a group of children who struggle to integrate in mainstream all the time. They can't cope with a whole day of mainstream school. These are year sevens, so they're taken out for year period 1 and 2 every day. And I'm liaising with the nurture hub lead there, and I've had them already coming into the art department in their period, and we're doing some great big acrylic painting to help with the Christmas concert, and they've loved it. So giving them something different to do, giving them a place they can flourish. So those are kind of easy wins, if you like, would be those ones. I'm also really excited and interested in how the churches can support the pastoral work that goes on in the school. So coming out of this morning's service where we had Transforming Lives for Good, TLG, presenting the work they do, which is coaching individuals and just being alongside. They are basically being chaplains. They're being alongside children for a set length of time, just helping them reflect on their lives and move forward. We so need that. The kids so need that. Just on Friday, I was in school, I was trying to come home, and one of the assistant heads of house came up to me and said, Verity, Verity, great news. I'm so glad you've got this chaplain role. It's really exciting. I've got a year 8 girl who I'd love to come and show, he'd love to come and see you. I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. She says, this kid just needs nurturing. She just needs somebody to take some interest in her and love her, basically. I can't do that. This school Gordeno on its own has got 2,200 children. Chew Valley's got another 1,200 children. We need more people who can just take an interest and give an hour a week to some of these students, and it can transform them. They just need a little bit of interest in them. There is a lot of need out there, even in leafy Portishead. So I'm hoping I can be the person on the ground who can open the doors to help our churches support the kids. Yeah.
And if I was a parent at Gordeno and Chew Valley and didn't particularly have church connections, I might be a bit surprised that a community school was having a chaplain. So should I be worried if I was that parent?
I don't think any parent would mind if somebody said, I want to come and help your children flourish. I'm not going to try and convert them and get them into church. They're not. This isn't about bums on pews for us. This is about helping our children in our community flourish where they are, and whatever that means. No. I think the language will be different if they're church kids, and I know that, and I will be supporting the Christian unions, and I'll be supporting the staff prayer group. The language then is different that I'll use, but no, we're just there to bring life in all its fullness as much as we can in whatever way that is.
Brilliant.
If they show interest in church and in Jesus, wonderful. That would be great. But I'm not there to push anything. There's no agenda.
Brilliant. And for you, obviously, you're very excited about the role. We've caught something of that enthusiasm already, but there must be also one or two nerves or question marks in your mind, and it would be good for people who are watching this to perhaps pray both for your enthusiasm, but also for some of the things which you're slightly nervous about. So, is there anything specifically that you would like prayer for at this stage?
Again, how long have we got? I think Chew Valley, so the pros and the cons of the job is it is a wide open, and the Gary Lewis, who's the CEO of the Lighthouse Schools Partnership, was open about that. He said, Verity, this is open, and we will make mistakes, and that's I've got to be okay with that. So some of that's for me to be okay with it. We're going to try things out and they're not going to work, but we can learn from them, and that's exciting and scary. But the fact that it's so open means that there's very little structure there. There's not anything put in place for me to step into. And so I guess some prayer for the setting up of things would be important, and those initial relationships, particularly in Chew Valley, for me to listen well, for me to just go slowly and not be tempted to jump in too fast with any of my crazy ideas. I just need to get to know people and them to get to know me. And I have no idea. It's new territory. I don't know how to do this. So prayers there would be great. It would be also wonderful, because I'm going to be working in the school where I have been working for the past 5 years in my department, partly in my department where I've been supporting them for 5 years in the role of art technician. It would be really lovely to have prayers about my relationship with my staff team, that somebody would be found to replace me in the technician role soon, and that I navigate that relationship well and sensitively. My replacement, my colleagues, all of that stuff. So as I kind of change hats, I need to just step through that carefully. So some prayer there would be great. Yes. So Chew Valley, just being slow, being careful. Oh, particular people. I need to meet the right people in Chew, because I need to sort of meet the right people in both schools. Go carefully, and old relationships as well as new ones.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing both your enthusiasm, but also some of the very real things about people contemplating a new role, and particularly a role where you are not following anybody's footsteps before. You're definitely pioneering, to use one word.
Yeah,
church people might be interested in, and it's been lovely to do that. We do run a prayer group in Portishead for particularly Guldano School, and if anybody would like to join that, because we will be asking Verity in her role as chaplain to suggest topics for prayer for that group as well. So if you are interested in being part of that email group, then please let me know, and we'll add you to the list, because we're pretty convinced that none of this will happen without prayer. And we know God is in it, and lots of things are coming together all at the same time, which we can see the hand of God in. But we need to be very aware that we draw strength, and particularly when you're working on your own Verity, you will need to be aware of that praying community behind you, and the God who is always there with you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Go well. We'll love to see what comes out of this. I know we're going to be excited. not building you up too much, but it's fantastic. And thank you for spending this time with us today. Lovely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your presence.